Okay, hi everyone. We welcome you back for another BBKP session, and we have on very popular demand we have Ishwar sir with us. Welcome, sir.
Thank you
Uh,
so much, sir. Good evening, Deepak sir. It's so good to see you, sir.
Same here, pleasure's all mine. And just to set the tone for the session today, CAT is over. Other
Mhm.
examinations, CAT results are out. Other examinations now on our head, MH-CET, CMAT, and we all understand that the cutoffs of these papers are significantly higher compared to CAT, ZAT. So what should be done is for the verbal section, and obviously have been given to understand that the MH-CET is tomorrow. So what should be done? We have Ishwar sir to help us out. However, if someone has a doubt for the quant or the any other section, please most welcome. We'll address those questions as well. However, we're focusing today on verbal skills. Sir, I know, first of all, welcome again. And I know it's very difficult key last day pay because tomorrow it's 7 CET. But, more than our students, we are more experienced. We have 15, 20 years of our experience backing us. We've seen these things happening again and again, again and again. So I would say, that students we are coaches. We are like Rahul Dravid maybe today. So we are coaches. We know what happens one day before. The last minute butterflies in the stomach,
Mhm.
and what should be done for CMAT, getting it aligned, getting everyone aligned, and obviously we also during today's session, because it's being telecasted on YouTube and it would be on YouTube. We also want to understand from you that when a student is seeing this and getting his preparation right and in line with how he has to prepare, what should be done. So we'll keep that in mind as well, that this session maybe would be seen again in August, September, October.
Mhm.
What at that time should be the student doing, keeping in mind MH-CET and CMAT, and aligning his or her preparation to get through these papers?
Mhm.
Because of the if the scoring is high, the cutoffs are also higher, right? So over to you. I am sure they want to listen more to you than to me today.
Mhm.
So over to you.
Right, sir.
Let's
Thank
start.
you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, as you've named Rahul Dravid, I would remember one of my coach when I was playing cricket during my high school and college years. So I recall one of my game where none of my shot was going correct. I was not able to get the ball on my bat even after playing so many balls. So uh, the drinks came and the coach came to me and he asked what happened. So I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. Perhaps there is a little bit of stress, pressure, or something. What did he say? And after that, I was able to, get every single ball on my bat. And what did he say? He said, Ishwar, stick to the basics. He did not give me any lecture. He did not give me any strategy. He did not give me this and that or any analysis he provided. No, he simply said, stick to the basics. So I think it's very important at this point of time for all the aspirants who are going for their Maharashtra CET tomorrow and the day after. Uh, the best what you can do is for your verbal section, you are going to have 5 options. Usually we have 4 options in each question for the other entrance exams. Over here, it's going to be 5 options. So you will be, choosing more over here. Stick to the basics for whatever efforts you have put in your preparation. Just stick to the basics, and the result is going to be wonderful. Yes, you know the setup of the exam, the grammar portion. This is the time when you can just go through all the notes you have prepared, or perhaps pick it up from somewhere where you can go through all the rules of the prepositions, or general English convention, or tenses or something. Just look at them. Sometimes what happens is that we keep on practicing, we reach to the advanced level of questions, but what remains behind is the basics actually. So this is the time you just need to look at the basics and you will feel very confident Once again, the RC reading comprehension questions are going to be here in this. 7 to 8 reading comprehension questions are going to be there. 7 to 8 passages are going to be there. I think you might have practiced very well, every one of you. So have faith, have confidence in believing that you have put in enough of the practice, and just work on the time management. So Deepak, this particular exam is little different on the aspect of, the marking scheme. So a non-negative exam this is. So number of questions are going to be 200. And so this section, verbal section, we are expecting around 45 to 50 questions, comprising of lots and lots of questions on grammar, vocabulary, and 7 to 8 RCs are going to be there. Before I say something, what is your count on any such exam which is non-negative? What do you think is the best strategy to go for such exams which are non-negative?
So I would say that if in an over, I know I would not be given out, right? Or there'll be no negative scoring on me getting out.
Right.
I know how to play.
Right.
But how do these papers still ensure that the best person wins? Is because the shot selection still remains important. I cannot just be playing blindly. A ball on the off has to be played on the off. A ball on the leg side has to be played on leg side. So I cannot close my eyes and just keep marking.
Right.
I need to maintain a pace. I need to swing hard, and I need to attempt as many questions as possible. But saying that I would not read the questions and I would just attempt them may not be the right strategy.
Right. So you're saying that if you get a free shot in your game, right, the free ball, so how would you go about it?
I would swing hard, but I would swing in the direction I know, will fetch me the maximum runs.
You're going to score the best. Wonderful analogy, sir. So, guys, it's very important at this point of time, you make up your mind that what you're going to do tomorrow and the day after, if your exam is. It's very important that you realize the importance of the time and this opportunity that none of your question is going to be marked negatively. But in this scenario, is it good to go for all the questions in a way that you attempt all of them and then you start revising? No. According to me, what I think is that you need to go step by step, and there are 3 steps for that. The very first is in the verbal section. Out of those 45, 50 questions, you can skip. You can go through the questions. Recognize your strength. Your strength is reading, or your strength is grammar, or your strength is vocabulary. So I would insist that go for your strength first. Go for those 15. Try to recognize those 15 questions out of those 45, 50 questions, which are going to be your best shot to score. Then pick up next set of 15 questions, which you may have this, either 50-50 ratio or 60-40 ratio, where the 60% is for going correct. And then the last 10-15 questions, what you can do is that where you have this 70-30 ratio and you're not sure about the questions, you're not sure about the options. Do not go for those questions which you are more confused about or which you're not sure about first. Try to go for the questions which that they're going to go correct. And it's not just for verbal section, guys, it's for every section. So I would say that take your time to skim the section whole. It's very important that initial few minutes you invest right. And if you invest right, the first few minutes, definitely the return on the investment is going to be wonderful. It is. So what do you say, Deepak, about this?
Can I summarize what you just said in a way that Ishwar sir is trying to say that getting the rhythm in the paper remains at most important.
Right.
I need to get the rhythm right. If my first 15 questions are of my interest, of something wherein I know I can score well, will set us up for the paper. Mm-hmm. It's like, choosing the bowler, which is going to bowl to you first. Mm-hmm. Okay. And reading a couple of lines, I would know that this is my area, this is not my area. And hence I would go for my my area.
Mm.
Once the rhythm is set, you warmed up, then comes the next 15 questions, and finally those 15 questions. But yes, keep that pace, maintain that pace throughout the paper, wherein you have that possibility of reading all the questions and then attempting them. Am I right, sir?
Right, sir. Perfectly. Perfectly. Very well said, sir.
So I would say that pace, getting the right set of questions, don't get hassled with getting those 4, 5 questions, wherein you are just marking the answer without understanding the question. Don't get into that from the very first step. Obviously, scoring is the most important, and hence you need to follow that approach. Over to you, sir.
Right, right. So I think at this point of time, many of the students, they must be wondering that what would be the last minute strategy academically. So academically, as I spoke, it's very important that you stick to the basics. But guys, please understand at this point of time, the more important thing is your psychological health at this point of time. So I tell every student of mine that these all entrance exams, they are not just academic exams. They're also going to test your nerves. It's very important that you are feeling very high spirited for these exams. Have confidence in yourself. Deepak, you know what happened the other day? I was in this session and somebody asked me that how to boost confidence. It's a very cliched question. Everyone asks that how to be confident and how to gather confidence and what are the ways to gather confidence. And I have also thought about this and worked on this for a very long time, that confidence, personality, wearing good clothes and speaking well and all that. The other day, I was just wondering that do we need to have confidence in eating food when we are hungry? No, we don't. You need confidence when you need to sleep. No, you don't. So I think it's very important to understand, every one of you who are listening to me, try to understand what is need to be done. When you feel that this is important and you cannot escape it, this is something very important. There is no need to think of the confidence. You don't need to think of the confidence when you are having food. When you're hungry, you just eat. When you have kept options, at that point of time, you think of having confidence. When there is a choice of either to go on stage and not to go on stage, you need confidence to do that. But if I will not give you any option, you have to be on stage, then when you have to do something, you have to do something. You don't need to gather confidence. So tomorrow, when you will see the very first question, do not keep any other option in your mind. This is something you have to do. So keeping in mind that I have faith in your preparation. So psychologically, you need to be very strong going for the verbal section. When you're reading a comprehension, when you're reading words, try to use all the methodologies which you have gathered and learned in the last few months and weeks, and just feel happy about yourself. You're the best, and God always has better plans. We do make plans, but the plans which He makes, they're the best for you. So keeping that high spirit in you, and that sense of faith is very, very important. So psychologically, you need to be very, very strong tomorrow when you deal with the exam, whether it's going to be the verbal section or the quant section or the LR section or any other section it is.
So, yes, you're very right, sir, that, there's always a tendency in such papers that we rush with the things. So, that's another kind of pressure which students at this age do not realize, that when you're rushing into things, I mean, and I'll give a very simple example. If let's take, if someone's told you just have 3 balls to play in the over, and then the next batter will come automatically because you're not scoring runs, the pressure automatically is definitely gets mounted on you.
Right.
So what you have to actually do is that don't rush into things. Sit wherever you're taking the paper, sit as if you belong to that place belongs to you.
Exactly.
Be aware of the surroundings, take deep breaths, and with full concentration, once with deep breaths, you have full concentration, focus on the paper and leave everything aside. That someone's, doing better, what's the other person doing, what am I doing? So just leave that aside. Don't get all those thoughts which can make you anxious.
Right.
And go for it. and go for it. So that's very critical to not only attempting this paper, but attempting any paper.
Right.
So I can definitely say I can talk about quant. I've taught quant all through my life. So you come across certain questions. Any person good in quant will know that not all questions can be done on a particular day, right? So things vary or even on days. But then if I'm rushing through the paper, I'll get more wrong than right. I need to be at my pace and get these in order. So over to you, sir. That's what I feel.
Right. So if you get any question related to regarding this MH-CET exam tomorrow or day after, so
they want to understand how to we've talked about all the 3-4 sections and part of verbal together. They want to understand separately on how should we go about it.
Separately, see, it's an individual choice. Do not go by me or by anyone else. I would say that it's very important that if you think, because this is a different exam, you can start from anywhere. You can skip the particular sections. So if you think that the other day I was talking to this student, so she's very confident about her maths. She has a great strength in maths. So it depends. I think there are people who would like to go the strength part first, and then they shift on to the part which is little dicey, and then they go for the hard section later. So I think that's a good strategy, that you gather confidence in the first section itself, where you are best at. So if you think that your verbal is strong, you should start with verbal. But if you think that you have a great mathematical aptitude and skills, you can start with maths. So there is no harm in that. I would say that.
So any particular order in which one should pick up, let's say parajumbles first, vocabulary first, or RC, what should
that is definitely a very important question. I would say that the first few minutes, it's very important to look at the kind of questions. So there are two methodologies for that. One is you've gathered the difficulty level in your mind. You know that when you read something, whether you can put it at a difficulty level of high, moderate, or low. That is easy. So either what you can do is you can look at the first question. If it is on LOD on difficulty level very high, skip, move on to the next one. It is again moderate or high, skip it and move on to the next one. And then you find the third or the fourth one, which is easy, attempt it, and then move on to the next one. So either you follow this, when you can scrutinize every question, if you have attempted enough of the marks, so you can easily scrutinize that which this particular question is high on difficulty level or moderate or low on difficulty level. The second is that if you can manage time very well, so you need to invest few minutes in looking at all the questions first of the section, and then decide that, okay, this time the parajumbles or the sentence rearrangement is very easy, I'm finding it. Go for it first, and then come on to the RC. Some people, they are wonderfully quick in speed reading. They have acquired speed reading. I think they should go for the reading comprehension first, because that gives you a warm-up, a head start. Some people, they have done very well in the marks in the grammar section. They should go for the grammar questions first. So I would not say that there is one certain methodology that you need to go for. Reading comprehension first, and then the analogies or the synonym and antonym questions, and then the the grammar questions. No, it's up to you. A person I would always take the reading comprehension first, because I feel that when I read something, I just get a better warm-up to go for the analogies and the synonyms and the antonyms and the grammar questions and all that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And I would follow exactly the opposite approach, because and that's what I'm trying to prove here, that it's very individual specific.
Yes.
It's very person specific, because I would not, while Ishwar sir would want to start with RC, I would not want to start with RC, because I know my concentration in the first few minutes is not that high.
Right.
So I would want smaller, lesser words, I can then build down my concentration and go for RC, wherein, in a few minutes, I can actually understand the paragraph and attempt the questions. If I pick it up immediately, I know it, I'm sure I'll not, that I have that anxiety thing. So I'll be a little more anxious and I will not be able to attempt those, right? If someone's as cool-headed as like Ishwar sir, or if you are cool-headed like Ishwar sir, most welcome.
That's a
Start.
wonderful suggestion, Deepak sir. I think that's a wonderful suggestion, because not to go for the high stake questions initially. You're right that we basically we get very anxious initially, so we need time to calm down our nerves. So I think the first 5-10 minutes, students should go for those questions where you do not need that level of concentration.
Yes.
Well said, sir. Very well said.
And always in your head, wherever you're sitting, if you're sitting with the competition, always in your head, when you sit, you need to feel that you are the best. The moment you feel you are the best, all this anxiety, everything will just go away, fade away, and you will be in the rhythm of the paper. If you feel, so I have a question which I will answer, sir, because it's on quant. But if you feel, because this question is written in that way, if you feel you've not covered something, hang on, forget it. It's like, even if Kohli's not played a particular shot for last 3 months, okay, though he should have, but let's say he's not, right? You don't become anxious. Understand, a person's talent gets spoiled if a person is anxious. That's very important. So the question is that, could you please give me brief? Okay, so I haven't completed my quant syllabus, comes from Aditya. Aditya says, what could I do for the next 2 weeks to cover this up? Aditya, I would not suggest you, because it's a quant question, I'm taking it up. However, sir, please, with your experience, you can add as well. Aditya, this time in 2 weeks, I would not suggest that you pick up the basics of the topic which you've not done. I would rather suggest that pick up the last 5-year, 10-year papers. Enough material has been given to you. Skim through those papers. So as of now, we're talking about quant. Skim through those papers, understand what kind of quant questions have been asked. Okay, the moment you understand what kind of quant questions have been asked, you will, and just by skimming the paper, you'll be able to understand. In quant, I feel, I'll just regress a little, but in quant, I feel that if you read the question, if you understood the question, you attempt it. If you've not understood the question, that is not of your area. Something new is that you've not attempted this, and hence, you need to put more mind to it. Now, once you've analyzed those 10-year, 5-year papers is also okay. 10 would be difficult in 2 weeks. Just pick up the topics which look possible, that you'll be able to solve the questions. Leave out wherein you cannot make surpair of anything on those topics. Leave those out. Jahan pe 50-60% samajh aa rahe hain, usko 100% cover kar lo. That is more than good. I think that is more than good. However, it could also happen that, let's take in a particular, how should I put it? Let's take in a time and work, a particular kind of question, time and work, but a particular kind of question you were not able to understand how to immediately solve it. Solve 5-6 of them. Okay, similar type. Change the values yourself. Think about how could the question paper setter change that thing. So that's how you do it. So when I used to be preparing, I had this clock questions. In clock questions, and I used to face difficulty when I was preparing. I'm talking about 20 years back. I used to, at one time, I thought that agar ye 12 ki jagah, 12-hour clock ki jagah, 24-hour clock hoti to kya hota? It's not required for MH-CET or CMAT, but the moment you think that 24-hour clock ke liye mujhe kya change karna padega, you will be able to get the basics right. Instead of just mugging it up कि ये ऐसे होता है, जब ये ऐसे हो तो ऐसे होता है, जब ये ऐसे हो तो ऐसे होता है. तो basics ठीक हो गए, and as sir said, stick to your basics. That's what it could happen with any topic. 24-hour clock may not be asked there. Yep, that's for more for CAT, not for. Over to you, sir. So I've answered that question. There's another question which has come up because we were discussing that. So Prab Sandhu says, so I find Parajumble's question very tricky. How to go about it?
Prab, it's very important you understand that in these set of exams, you will be given the options. And you can take the use of that. Go by the same methodology. If, you need to set a protocol. First of all, see whether you can look for an opening sentence. Okay, if you are able to find the opening sentence, that means you can negate the options which doesn't say that. Suppose you found that C option is the opening sentence, right? So negate the options which doesn't start with C. So if you're not able to find the opening sentence, then go for the closing sentence. So on the protocol, opening sentence, closing sentence, looking for the pairs, looking for the key terms, the connectors. So this way you will be able to, narrow down your option in such a way that out of all the options given, you'll be left with either one or two options, and then finally select the best out of that. That is the way you're going to go about the parajumbles or the sentence rearrangement in this.
I'll add here, sir, that a pro in parajumbles will also, how does one become pro in parajumbles? Because they understand that these two sentences go together.
Yes.
Okay. And you also, along with, yes, very rightly said by sir, that opening and closing is the most important. And if you can actually find a pair, you're done with your job. These two sentences will go together. Out of those 4-5 options, you will be able to find two options and then just compare, and whichever looks better, go for it.
Right.
Right, sir? Right. Okay, what about the other sections of verbal, sir? RC, पहले question पढ़ने चाहिए, पहले reading comprehension करना चाहिए, क्या करना चाहिए?
So these kids, in fact, whenever we talk about it, this becomes very touchy topic whenever it comes to comprehension. That I usually ask that, when was the first time we did our first comprehension? Perhaps we were in our first grade. We've been doing the comprehension for almost good 18, 19 years of our life. And then these testing authorities, the National Testing Authority, testing agency, they think that they can, decide our career on the basis of checking our reading comprehension. This is such an irony, actually. And that too, the comprehensions which are given with multiple choice questions. It's the approach, sir, I would say that, which should be changed by now. That earlier, for good, 12 years of our life, what we have done is that looking for the key term in the question first, without reading the comprehension, just looking for the question key term, tracing it in the comprehension, and writing that one line over there as the answer, because the subjective questions are there, and then getting the mark, either 1 mark or 2 mark. Or otherwise, if you're not able to feel confident, pick up a line before that and pick up a line after that, and you trace it over there. And मेरे जैसे कोई बहुत महान होते थे, वो लोग पूरा पैराग्राफ छाप दिया करते थे वहां पे, राइट? तो टीचर को मार्क्स देने ही पड़ते थे क्योंकि वो अपने आप ढूंढ लेगी उसमें से आंसर वहां से, राइट? So the idea is different now. It's not that you can just simply read the question and trace the key term in the comprehension and then try to find the answer over there, because most of the questions are based on inference, main idea, and that you cannot trace from one single paragraph. It's very important to follow the protocol of reading quickly, grasping the whole main idea from the passage, and then approaching the questions. Yes, it's good to know that what kind of questions are going to come over there. You can take a glimpse of the questions, that whether my set of 4, 5, 6 good questions, they are either, if there is any particular terminology, idiom, phrase, and then as soon as you trace that particular idiom, terminology, or phrase from the comprehension market, or pay attention to that over there. So looking at the question should be only for this particular purpose, that if there is any specific paragraph-based question, line-based question, or a terminology-based question, you need to stop over there for a moment. And otherwise, it's very important that you grab the whole idea of the comprehension, then only you'll be able to succeed in the questions, actually.
Yeah, those times are gone wherein, कि हम क्वेश्चन पढ़ते थे और वो उसके बाद आरसी में से लेते. That was a kid, that's a paper for kids, right? So yes, you might have one or two odd questions which are directly direct, but you need to understand the gist of the paragraph, because that's where the paragraph is given.
Yeah.
And
होते भी ऐसे से ना कि first question is from the first paragraph, second question is from the second paragraph, third question is from the third paragraph, something like that.
Exactly. And that's where I used to make a mistake as a student always, that when I started off preparing, that I used to look for those kind of things. That's not going to happen. please be very clear. Whatever you're reading in the reading comprehension, you need to understand it. So that's very, very important. The moment whatever you're reading, your concentration is high, you're not rushing through the paragraph. Please don't try to achieve a reading speed which is out of bounds.
Right.
We need to understand that 10% compromise hota hai hamari speed pe when we are attempting the paper, but understand the gist of the paragraph and only then, or the reading comprehension, and only then attempt the question. Right? Yes. And skimming through the questions will obviously make you at least help you understand where is this, what is he trying to connect?
Right.
What is he trying to connect? Right. So over to the next section, sir. So what do you want within the verbal?
We can talk about the CMAT. So CMAT is going to happen very soon, I think.
Yes.
So yeah, the CMAT exam, I think we have significant number of days. The date is not yet out, I think. It's gonna be out perhaps in a day or two or something like that. We are looking at what, I think the first or the second week of April, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Around that much, yes. Around, could be any time, yeah. First or second week of April now, yes.
Yes, yes. And the CMAT is going to be, I think a little different in terms of number of questions. It's just going to be 20 questions in the verbal section, comprising of everything, the same grammar, vocabulary, RCs, and everything. I think just like the old times when all my students, they were in the school, they think that, English is one subject which needs to be studied in the end, the last few days, and the whole time should be given to sciences or accounts or economics and everything. So guys, this is the last time. These are the last days now. So pick up English now, pick up verbal section, and you can gear up by reading every day now. So because 20 questions, high stake questions are going to be there. It's very important that you get very comfortable with the reading, because on the day, you will be reading something which may be unfamiliar to you. So would be great if you read from different genre, different subject areas, particularly the ones which you are not very comfortable with, the one which is not your comfort zone. So we all hate politics. I think this is the time for the next few weeks, few days, start reading politics on everyday basis. You do not like to read history. We do not like to read history. Read at least one article on history every day. And whatever troubles you, probably it can be sciences, physics, chemistry, or it can be psychology, philosophy, or literature. So it depends on you, So whatever your comfort zone is, leave it for the next few days. Start reading it from your non-comfort zone. That is going to be a great warm-up for your verbal section on the day of the CMAT exam. And whenever you're reading, I would suggest you, if you're not reading on screen and you are reading on paper, like a book or a magazine or newspaper, please start annotating. The next few days, if you keep annotating and writing the synonym of the words which are new to you, it's gonna help you a lot on the day, because there is going to be new vocabulary over there, and you will feel very confident. The next 10, 15 days, they're going to be very crucial in filling up your word bank with the new words. You have no idea, maybe the coming few days, you've come across 5, 7 new terminologies, and the same words are going to be there on the exam day. Think about the kind of confidence you'll gather on that day. So I think reading every day, reading plus annotation, annotating. Do not write the meaning in a sentence or something. Please pick up the synonym from your Google when you search for the word. Look for the antonym along with that. So this way you are gathering 3 words just in few seconds. The word which you've marked, the synonym of that, and the antonym of that. So this way you'll be able to enrich yourself with lots and lots of vocabulary in the coming few days. Reading is going to help you. The meaning of the words are going to help you to attempt the vocabulary based question. And when you read these things in the coming few days, always look for phrases. The phrases based questions are going to be there. phrases like idioms. Every time you come across an idiom, every time you come across a phrase like break into, break up, so mark that. They have a different meaning. Search for the meaning, write it down. It will be very helpful. And if you come across any foreign terminology like laissez-faire or faux pas or something like that, do mark that also. The questions are going to be there on the basis of this too. So I think keep it very regular. And yes, I think from here onwards, it's the need of the hour that you organize yourself very well till the exam day. Now, don't go for hit and trial method that one day you get up 6 o'clock in the morning, the other day you're getting up 12 o'clock in the morning. Please get disciplined because it takes some time for mind and body to follow a rhythm. So you are going to help yourself a lot if you organize yourself. From this day onwards, it's very important that you keep a proper time for reading, a proper time for your quant, a proper time for the rest of the subject, and a proper time for rest. And you will not find yourself in a fix on the day of the exam. What do you say, Deepak?
Definitely. I agree to this that, one should definitely be reading. One should definitely be with full concentration studying at that time of the day when the paper is going to happen. Right? It needs to be a way of life that, you will be going for the paper at this time, getting settled, and these 3 hours, add an extra hour or 2 hours along with that, generally half an hour before it and half an hour after that, the timing of the paper, and get your clock in order. Okay, that should be the time when your concentration is at its peak. I'll give you a very simple example. So I've made it a habit since I'm 41 now. I made it a habit at 18 that I will read newspapers. Now the whole thing is built up in a way that, that 45 minutes where I'm reading those 5 newspapers daily, it's my habit that my concentration is at its peak. For
Right.
some reason, I'm always able to finish these 5 newspapers in that 45 minutes. I don't know how did it get built, but it did. Okay, and start today, at least get your clock in order. Your concentration needs to be at its peak when the paper is going to happen. At that time, there should be no breaks. Simple, sitting, getting your concentration in order. I think 90-95% of the work is getting your concentration in order. The moment you have that, you will be able to perform to the best of your ability. And we feel that you've come from good schools, colleges. It should not happen that you're not able to get a good call. Just get your concentration in order in that time period. Right? No phone calls, keep your phone away. It's not going to be different. The day is not going to be different that day. So just get that and go for the questions. Right? So that's how I could summarize it.
Wonderful, sir. Very nice. And adding to that, one more thing, I think because the exam is going to be online, this is going to be a screen exam. I would also suggest that along with the paper reading, like whether you're reading from a book or you're reading from a magazine or newspaper or whatever, also get a little bit comfortable with the screen reading.
Yes.
So every day, please do read it on a laptop or a desktop. Because कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि you've been practicing very rigorously on the paper annotation and everything, and on that day when you need to sit in front of the screen for 3 hours, the CMAT exam is going to be for 3 hours, guys. So you feel very uncomfortable. So again, once again, it's very important that from today onwards, अपनी nutritional needs का ध्यान रखो, अपनी health का ध्यान रखो, and get exposed to screen every day in bits and pieces, so that on that day you do not feel something alien towards your body, and start reading on the screen every day for 15 minutes, then increase it to 20 minutes, and then increase it to 30 minutes, and then increase it to 1 hour, and get familiarized with the way you read it on the screen. And you take regular breaks from the screen, blinking your eyes and everything, so these small things are going to contribute a lot on the exam day. I remember reading this article a few years back that there was this coach, new appointed coach to England's cycle team, which could not win Olympic in the past 3-4 decades or something. So what did he do? This coach did not do anything significant, though he brought 1% change in everything, from the saddle to the pillows to the nutritional thing to everything. He just brought 1% change in everything in the routine of the cyclist. And that year, the cyclist team won Olympic medal. It's a very famous article. So I think we always look for the, remedies which are very significant, huge, we forget that the small things, when done for every single thing, they contribute very, very significantly in bringing the desired outcome.
The multiplier effect is significantly higher.
Yes.
Yes. So I definitely agree with you. Just, and we get, every one of us, including our students, we all get discouraged if something significant has not happened. Hang on, that's not what life is. Small changes go a long way in changing you, making you score really high. And that's why your percentile scores in the papers, in the mock papers, is fluctuated in an enormous way. The day you got the maximum score, you were feeling confident, you were feeling happy, you were in the best of your moods, best of your concentrations, and it was the same person with the same aptitude who got a very high percentile. So that's very, very important, keeping yourself happy, nutritional needs, all the needs which Sir's talked about. They're very important. So last 10 minutes before we start compiling, any questions? I would, I've always said that this preparation is very individualistic. One person is different from the other. Please feel free to ask your questions so that we can answer them. And, then another 10 minutes, that's what we will do. Okay, sir. So anything on the quant section? What do you feel?
Anything on this, sir? I'm sorry?
Quant section.
I think when I started preparing, I remember maths has always been my Achilles heel. I was more into literature and philosophy, psychology and all, but after a gap of few years when I had to go for my quant starting again and everything, it was big, huge task for me to, feel confident about it. So I remember one of my teacher told me that, and we came up with a strategy that dividing all the topics of maths. So he started making me do some of the topics first. And the other day I told him that maths is not my cup of tea. So this teacher called me and said that, Ishwar, every one of us, we have mathematical aptitude. Every one of us, mathematical aptitude. It's just that some, they have a mathematical aptitude more towards geometry, and some, they have more towards algebra. You just need to understand, and you just need to figure out that what you enjoy doing most, not what you find easy, but enjoy doing most. It can be something which is difficult, but you enjoy doing that most, And that day I took around the whole day, in fact, to figure out 5 such topics. Because the teacher said that by evening, you need to send me those 5 topics which you enjoy doing most. And I was in a big fix. मेरे को पता ही नहीं था कि कौन से ऐसे टॉपिक्स हैं. मुझे पूरा दिन लगा उस चीज को फिगर आउट करने में कि ऐसे कौन से 5 टॉपिक्स हैं from geometry and from some other topic. और जब मैंने वो 5 टॉपिक्स उनको फॉरवर्ड किए, बताया उनको, तो उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि अब नेक्स्ट 1 महीना तूने सिर्फ यही टॉपिक्स करने हैं, nothing else. You'll not move to the other topics until you get done with these topics. And they would trust me. वो ऐसे टॉपिक्स थे जिनका एडवांस टू एडवांस लेवल भी मुझे डराया नहीं करता, बिल्कुल भी नहीं. और एग्जाम में मुझे उन्होंने ही बचाया, उन्होंने ही मार्क्स फेच किए. सो मुझे लगता है कि क्वांट के लिए, बिकॉज इफ वी लुक एट द नेक्स्ट फ्यू डेज, वी हैव फ्यू वीक्स, I would say that please do recognize such 10 topics from your curriculum, from your syllabus, and touch the advanced level of that. Because on the day of the exam, because this is going to be such exam where you're not going to attempt all the questions. So your choice of questions matters the most in the CMAT. So I think those set of questions which are from your favorite, I would say, or from those topics which you really enjoyed, and if you go for them first, and perhaps you restrict yourself only to those questions only, which are your favorite topic, I think the percentile will be good.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Focus on your strengths. That is going to do work wonders for you.
Mhm.
I would also suggest, sir, that someone who's done everything as in completed the complete quant section, because quant section is very, it's quantifiable that मेरे को ये 10 या 12 टॉपिक्स करने थे. तो इसके लिए मैं क्या सजेस्ट करूंगा, प्लीज ओपन योर बुक्स. You know which question you got wrong. It's very clear when you see your books. Which question you got wrong. Do it like a reading comprehension, that this is the question which I got wrong. Why did I get it wrong? Hang on, that's the only thing. Just keep flipping the pages, thinking about the question. No need to solve it. This is only for the student who's gone and done the preparation and it's just wants to improve the score a little. Just keep reading those questions, thinking about why did I go wrong? What should I have done differently? See, you cannot improve. Why am I asking you to do that? Because you cannot significantly change your calculation speed here. So just, slowly and gradually just understand, get your concepts right. If you're missing on a particular concept, you immediately and remember, get to know that may concept abhi bhi miss kar raha hu. That's it. And no one will be able to finish this course. It cannot be finished in your 100 years of 70, 80 years of life. It cannot be finished. The more you do, the more you realize you've not done. So that is how the course is. So just keep flipping whatever concepts you got wrong. You've practiced enough balls. This is like seeing your own batting or practicing in the mirror. And that's how you move. That's about it. Get your technique right. So this is it from my side on quant. Any other thing anyone wants to ask? Otherwise, sir, we'll start compiling. What do you think? Last few words to end the session. What do you think should be done?
I would say that every one of you have put in the best of your energies in this. At this point of time, it's very important that you gather all the positivity from everywhere, from your books, from your family, from your friends, and be very selfish. It's a very negative connotation, I think, when I say that. Sounds very negative. But at this point of time, all of you need to be very, very selfish. It's your career. It's about your career. So do not put yourself in any such distraction, any such situation, which can take a toll on your preparation, which the kind of hard work you have put in the last so many months. So stay away from every thing which can distract you. Stay away from everything which can jeopardize your preparation. So these things can wait just a few more days. Consistency is the key. If you have been studying 5 hours, 6 hours, increase it a little bit more. Yeah. Give yourself time to rejuvenate also. Time to time, take a good break and increase your intensity at this point of time a little bit more. And one more thing, analysis. Whatever you're going for, whether it's your math section, whether it's your LR section, AR section, or your verbal section, whatever you do in the next few days, if you're spending 2 hours or 3 hours in attempting set of questions, I think you need double of that time to analyze that. What have you done? What has gone wrong? What has gone correct? To recognize your strengths and your weakness. That is going to help you a lot. So guys, please remember, attemptation in the next few days is very important, but analyzing that is even more important than that. And respect that. Don't go in any kind of denial mode. So what you don't know at this point of time, you don't know. And it's okay to not know certain things or certain topics. Okay. Stick to the basics and stay in high spirits. Okay. Take blessings from everyone. And with this note, I think I'll also share my best wishes with all of you. And we are always here to help you. Right, Deepak sir?
Definitely, it's the time when you need to feel that you're ready to conquer.
Yeah.
Remember, even if you've dropped some catches and you've practiced catching, does not, you've definitely improved. It cannot be quantified. It cannot be said how much have you improved, but you've definitely improved. Will there be some drop catches even in the paper? Yes, there will be. That's a part and parcel of life. But if you've practiced, you've automatically improved. It may not be quantifiable, but yes, you have. It's now the time to feel that you have done and given your best shot over the last few years, or 1 year, 6 months, whatever. And just by practicing more shot does not mean that I'm a better at the game. So what I'm trying to say, just because someone's studied for 1 year, someone studied for 2 years, and you studied for 6 months, is not a measure. But if you've been sincere to yourself, you've been sincere to the material which has been given to you, I think it's just time to think positive, go all out, conquer. That's about it. Right, sir? So
Right,
that's it. That's it from our side. Thank you so much, Ishwar, sir.
Thank you so much.
Hitbullseye faculty, Hitbullseye technical team for giving the support. Look forward, and our best wishes always remain, are always with you. We will, if anything, please reach out to the front desk, reach out to us in case you feel we can be of any help. So all the best to everyone. Do well. One person who stays positive with concentration is the one who wins the test. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, and all the best to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you. Bye.